This is an incredibly exciting video. I'm going to show you some of my all-time favorite tricks you can do on your Android or iOS smartphone. Let's get started. The first one, if you're one of those people who uses a screen protector, specifically a plastic one, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I know a lot of people use, then there's a way to repair scratches on it. So if you see a whole bunch of tiny little scratches, not exactly deep gouges, those can't be repaired, but tiny little nicks you can do. All you need to do is to get a tube of toothpaste and squeeze it onto your display, which is going to feel extremely weird, and if this is not a waterproof phone, then be very careful that you actually only put it on the screen protector. Rub it all the way in, leave it for 5 minutes, and then wipe it off with a damp cloth. And pretty much all of these things will be repaired. It's a pretty cool little trick a lot of people haven't heard of. Be careful though, don't use it on a glass display, it could ruin your screen. So everyone has a pair of earphones, and as well as being able to obviously listen to music through your phone, they have another useful function, especially in Android devices. So once you plug them in, providing they have a remote on them, you can use a button to remotely take a photo. And that's great when you're sort of connected to your phone, but by implication, the same is also true for a Bluetooth earphone. So if you pair your Bluetooth earphones with your smartphone, then that means that remotely from a distance, you can trigger a photo capture. So if you're about to take a big group shot and you want your phone to take it from a distance, you can do that. Now, another thing you can do is DIY your own smartphone stylus. Now, why exactly you might want this is completely up to you. A lot of people hate the idea, but the notate over here is a pretty good example of why some people love it. So anyway, you simply get a pen or a pencil and wrap the bottom 5 to 10 centimeters in standard aluminium foil. The same applies to gloves, and this is probably going to be very useful for a lot of people going into wintertime. When you have gloves on, you normally can't use your phone's display. But using a little bit of double-sided tape on the fingers and then attaching some foil, automatically it'll start working. But why does this work? Well, essentially the whole technology behind capacitive displays relies on an object touching it that can hold an electric charge. That's actually what the human skin is doing. That is what aluminium foil will do, and by implication, you could also do that with a pencil. So if you wanted to use a completely standard pencil as a stylus, simply cut away a small section, a couple of centimeters from the tip where you'd normally hold it, and as long as you use it by holding your thumb or fingers in that little section connected to the graphite which is touching the screen, it'll work completely. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, what phone stand do I use? How do I stand the phone up when I'm watching movies on the device? And put simply, there are a lot of ones you can buy, but some of the best options are DIY. And I've seen pretty much everything from fidget spinners to using matchstick boxes. But one of my favourite ones is the bent fork. You simply just get a fork, use a pair of pliers and bend up the tips. Then you sort of curve the middle of the body so it can stand on its own, and to be honest, this is one of the most inexpensive and durable stands you can get. So guys, there we have it. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you guys know any hacks that you want to share with the community, be sure to whack them in the comments below, and they could get featured on a future episode. With that being said, I'm Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'm signing out.